Hello to the channel, welcome back everyone. Before I get into the Sorare stuff, Glasgow Celtic champions. Yes! Get in there. No Guinness today, we're on the water today, but we had a couple last night, so delighted by that. So what we're going to cover today, the Euros or the summer information's just come up, so I'm going to cover that first. We're going to have a look at the stats for the J League weekly, look ahead towards the weekend. We'll have a wee look at how we've done midweek because there's going to be some rewards coming in Friday. Can't wait, and then we'll build a couple of lineups. I don't think I'm going to be doing a lot of lineup building in this because the show won't be 2 hours long. But first and foremost, let's look at this information hot off the press. I went to fire up the video and I seen there was a notification on site and it's just dropped. So Sorare International Summer Schedule. So basically, there's going to be special weeklies for the international competitions, headlines, cash competitions, no in-season requirements, no caps, and also Sorare are going to be covering some international friendlies as well. So I think that's all really, really good. I mean, friendlies obviously will be a bit bonkers in terms of calling lineups, etc. But there's going to be two international competitions, one for Europe and one for America, and these are running as special weeklies. They're running for 7 game weeks long, which is obviously an entire month. There's 7 game weeks. I was thinking about months there, but game weeks are twice a week. Each international special will feature one competition per scarcity and will deliver rewards on a game week basis. Also, it's multi-entry as well, so that's confirmed further down. Be adjusting the game week schedule to ensure the best experience. I think it makes sense as long as it doesn't cut things out. I mean, remember when we did the one for the World Cup, there was like a Celtic game that just didn't count. So I don't mind adjusting the schedule to cope with this. Seems good. All the core competitions are still running, so you still got Challenger, Contender, All-Star, Under 23, and the cap modes. Over 200,000 total cash prizes, cards, and reward boxes. It seems really good. I mean, like I don't have anything negative to say about it. There's no restrictions, so you can go and buy in-season cards just now. You can buy older cards. I think that makes a lot of sense because if you buy the in-season cards just now for Europe, they're just about to be out of season. So actually probably makes sense to buy some of the other classic cards. You can register 3 teams per scarcity. That's good. There's some special coverage, so we're going to get the June international friendlies. So once we get through this month, we're going to cover those. Those are going to be even worse than trying to get 5 starters in Japan. But that's brilliant. Get scouting. First game week's Friday, the 14th of June. That is Scotland against Germany. So get your Scottish stacks lined up, or if you're thinking with your head, buy Tony Cruz. More to come. We'll get detailed game week schedules, and here's a list of the friendly games, etc., that's going to be covered. So we've got all the European friendlies, a couple American ones, Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, and Uruguay. Sorry for my impromptu nonsense singing. So that's really good. I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. Before we go into J League Weekly, etc., let's have a wee look at the current game week because I'm even happier with that, to be honest. So, Ivan, do you finally get a clean sheet and Griezmann hit, and I still never won a card in Champion, but Champion was a bit bonkers this week. Challenger, not much to write home about, but here's the sort of real quiz. So Celtic won 5-0. I mean, it's not going to be a big surprise that we've done pretty well here. First in Contender, cash are in season. 523 will not have to sweat Opta because it's 114 points clear. There's only a couple of cards to go, so no real worries there. $1,000. Brilliant, absolutely delighted, honestly. Obviously, Kuhn came on and got an assist, which was really helpful, but Matt O'Reilly had already smashed it. We've got some other stuff running as well. Ulsan were pretty rotten. Furuhashi, I mean, a wee bit disappointing Weeda starting. I never really called that, but how could you have really called it? Like, Furu's been starting a lot. Anida was preferred just for physical presence, really. So picked up some bits and pieces in the other divisions, and this may well hold on for a tier 1 in Division 1 as well, even with the poor score for Furuhashi. Remember, the unique there doesn't score as a unique, only scores as a rare. So I never even put Ida with the header. I've got to change the name of that. Vaco's done well though, so that might get a card. Still get Heber to go there too. And then we've got the other sort of cash stuff. But anyways, the best ones were that, and also we came 21st in the J League special. So this nearly won as well. At one point it was actually sitting first. That's what I mean by nearly won. So pretty pleased with that. I mean, $50. It's not obviously huge amount of money. I know it is to some people, but it's not a huge amount of money in terms of car prices, etc. But that almost covers more like the Vissel Kobe limited collection. So I've said this a couple of times, and I've said to people, you know, if you can afford to get some new collections and things, try and have some fun with it, etc. Again, Furuhashi screwed this team too. It's second at the moment, looks absolutely brilliant, but unlikely to actually finish second. If it gets a podium, that'd be great. I think that's going to drop out. And then we've got one other real unbelievable chance, and it's this one. So Nashville coming good. And in fairness to Egal and his spreadsheet, so rare probabilities, Nashville were the standout defensive fixture. They won 2-0. Zimmerman got a good score, so did Joe Willis. Hanny never got a goal or an assist. Dyson was outstanding, and I'm sweating Evgen starting at 5 because he had a wee bit of a knock. But even if he gets on, we'll hit the upper threshold. But I'd really like to see him start. And then Courtois had moved out of champion. I think if I'd have played him in the main champion, I'd have scraped the card. But him and Johnson obviously have done the business. These guys I'm not so confident on. That wasn't really as much of a priority team. But I know that sounds daft putting in Johnson and Courtois, but Courtois I didn't know if he was going to play. There was a report on Kepa saying he would play. Johnson was coming back from injury, so you know Courtois would have been in the champion one. Anyways, on to the preview. So there's so much to take in today, honestly. That's why I'm not going to spend like 20-30 minutes building lineups, because I want to give you the info. I want to give you a bit of the reaction to Euro stuff, which I think is really good. So we're going to start off with the J League special. I've really enjoyed all the specials. I know I've done well at them, etc. But I think it's been really good fun, to be honest. It's been nice to prepare for them. Even the limited's got me back into buying some limited collections, which I've really enjoyed myself as well. So standout fixtures, San Frecce. They've been rotten recently. Sorry, Jay, if you're watching this. I know you've got a lot of San Frecce players. Hopefully do business for you at the weekend. So 1.76 expected team goals, 47% clean sheet percentage, and Kyoto Sanga delivered for all Urawa holders, apart from anyone who's bought Gustafsson, who didn't play a really good opposition for the first part of the special. So yeah, pretty good fixture for San Frecce. They haven't been reliable though, so if they don't rotate, which they don't really rotate much, and you know guys like Mitsuta Fire, etc., then they could be really dangerous. Kashiwa Reysol, 1.6 expected team goals, or 1.59 against Consadole Sapporo. Urawa Reds were pretty impressive. They look quite good. I don't know what the situation with Gustafsson is. I don't really own him. Again, no real high clean sheet percentages, but Makita Zelvia do have the best clean sheet percentage at 45% out with San Frecce. So, you know, good for Tanny holders, I suppose. Marinos, I think I'd avoid. I mean, they've got these big games coming up. There's loads of rotation, etc. So, could be a decent fixture for Tokyo. Again, they were pretty poor. Frontale got gubbed last game, just seemed to be dead hit and miss. Vissel Kobe, pretty difficult fixture for me in my collection against Kashima Antlers, but as I said, they've paid themselves back between the midweek contender win I got before, or fourth place, before the specials, etc. And then we've got all the other information. Nothing really else standing out. I guess Chireko Osaka, 40% clean sheet percentage is not too bad, but again, they've been a bit hit and miss recently as well. In terms of the full look, it's always good to have a look at the top fixtures, then we'll break it down. So we had a touch in this last video. Sporting, pretty interesting. Again, a lot of these teams have won the league, etc. So what really stands out to me is like Manchester City really need to win. Brilliant fixture in terms of 3.4 expected team goals. We're just looking at the Japanese ones, and XG is half of that. Dortmund against Darmstadt's a real good one, but again, Dortmund, will they rotate? Do they want to just freshen people up for the Champions League final? It's still a bit away, so you know you'd imagine that they won't go too daft. But I think you also have to look at what teams have got to play for, etc. here as well. Liverpool, again, 3 expected team goals. PSV have won the league. Feyenoord, again, I think pretty secure, or are secure in their position. Stuttgart's an interesting one because they've got a bit of a battle on, I think, with Bayern for league placings, etc. So that type of stuff I think is quite good to hone in on when you're picking your teams. Leverkusen never losing. They don't want to get beat with anybody, so that's interesting as well. Arsenal, really high clean sheet percentage, and also 2.83 expected goals is pretty high as well. So I'd imagine they'll come out firing. Celtic against St Mirren. So from Celtic's point of view, 2.67 expected team goals, 52% clean sheet, and Celtic have been doing absolutely brilliant for me, obviously. So EPL wise, touching this quickly, Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham, really good fixture against Sheffield United. I mean, Andrew's raging at them, probably more at the stadium and everything, like cheering because they knew that City winning was favourable for Arsenal, but he really wants a winning mentality, and I can see why he was pretty annoyed knowing him from his time at Celtic. Chelsea, again, been scoring a lot of goals, 2.52 expected goals. Brighton against Manchester United, no real surprise there. Manchester United have been leaky. Crystal Palace have been playing great as well. And again, the high clean sheet percentages are Arsenal. Don't believe Liverpool are ever a high clean sheet percentage. Can't remember the last time they kept one. Manchester City. Champion wise, are there any real standout fixtures? I mean, I think you've got to try and have a look and see who's still got stuff to play for. So, like Bayern Munich, interesting. Dortmund, I don't know, they've not got so much to play for. Leverkusen don't want to get beat. Stuttgart, an interesting one. I think that, they've been really good. They want to finish in a high, and nearly 3 expected team goals is really high there as well. You could look at some of the French league teams, like Monaco, etc. I think they've still got some stuff to play for there as well. Anyway, a bit of focus on the other regions now as well. Challenger. So I think it's fair to say that a lot of the guys from MLS, etc. will be glad to see the back of Sporting, PSV, Feyenoord, 20, all Ajax have got quite a good fixtures. Vitesse have been really poor. Go Ahead Eagles, even, Volendam have been conceding lots of goals. And clean sheet percentage-wise against Sporting have got the real standout fixture, but who's going to play, all that type of stuff. 20, 47% nearly in terms of clean sheet. I think Beginner Style's wife's ready to drop, so could be an interesting one. Inter Miami featuring is about the highest I've seen in MLS club. So Messi looks as if he's been sort of left out deliberately. So, if you've got Messi, that's good for you, obviously. But does he come back in, maybe do the rest? Suarez, etc., Mr. No Knees contender. So Shanghai and Sporting Cristal don't have many licensed players. HSV or Hamburg, so just squeaking in there above Celtic, but not as high clean sheet percentage. If you hang on a minute, I'll give you the projected Celtic lineup. Abracadabra, here's my prediction. I put this up on Twitter as well. Pretty similar to last night. So the theory behind this is Celtic played great last night. Very, very, very good. Kilmarnock are no mugs. Played very well. Roger said after the game, look, we want to finish strong and then we'll get some rest ahead of the final. He wasn't talking like somebody who was just going to rotate fully at the weekend. Now, we don't know. I've got Hart, Taylor, Scales, CCV and Johnson all at 95%. Johnson looked good last night. I don't think there's any real worries after he picked up his knock. McGregor and Hatate have got 90%. I think Hatate, not in vintage form. Sometimes he struggles in some of these games like Kilmarnock where there's a high press, not get as much time in the ball. McGregor had these injury problems recently, so just thinking maybe a marginally higher risk of being rotated. I don't think it's anything too drastic. We've got Maeda, O'Reilly and Forrest. Matt O'Reilly was absolutely brilliant. Again, superb, just firing all the time. There could be a wee element of rotation in there, but Ida, Maeda and Forrest come off at like 60-ish, so they only played an hour. I've got Ida at 60%. Again, probably a bit controversial, but last night was Celtic's best performance, I think, of the season. Played really, really well. There were specific tactics for that because Ida was playing as a reference point, and Celtic were playing a bit different rather than the slow build-up. They were trying to beat the press. So Furuhashi and Ida will both share game time at the weekend. You're picking your Celtic stacks. If you go really strong, I've told you that Celtic are going to win 7-0 and Rodgers rotates. just don't watch the channel again. I'm sorry. I'm joking with that, but I don't know who's going to play. It's just a projection, and I'm going on my gut based on what he said after the game. He wants to finish strong for Trophy Day. I'll be there, and I'll be drinking Guinness either way. Hajduk Split, Auxerre, etc. there as well. So other Dynamo Zagreb, pretty good fixture too. So much to take in. As I said, we'll have a quick look. We'll build some lineups. We'll put in some special weekly stuff here as well. But it is what it is. I'm not going to spend ages building lineups here because it takes me ages, and also I wanted to highlight the Euros news, the previews, all that type of stuff. So first and foremost, I'm going to go for Vissel Mayakawa with a really nice projected score of 58. So that's really interesting. I need to change this to limited as well. Again, this usefulness of the spreadsheet from Higal, just been able to filter all this out. Sai van Merskers, I can't even say that. He's quite high up in terms of projected scores, etc. all the time for some reason. Gotoku Sakai was really good. But my only thing with Vissel, I do think that perhaps they'll rotate up a wee bit. I'm not as confident in terms of them keeping a clean sheet. Midfield wise, there was a wee bit of rotation things in there as well. Ogihara came on. I think I might go for Ogihara actually. Against the interest one, could go for Yamaguchi as well. Ideguchi played, but again, he's been in and out of the team. Could be arguments for putting somebody else in there. Wakazika was rested last game, so could mix him in actually. Then we've got Yuya, Ozako, etc. up here as well, up top. So he doesn't really seem to get rotated much. Now I've said that, probably will. And rather than going double defence, it's difficult. I mean, I really want to use Susi, etc., but he's been in and out too. So I might go for Miyashiro here. Daiju Suzaki can come back in. Miyashiro's been scoring for the bench, so I think maybe he'll get his chance. Going to go for him. I just don't think it's a brilliant defensive fixture for them. I think the Antlers will score, but you say why you selecting a stack? Well, that's just the way I've been playing it, and yeah, I suppose I could mix it up, but I don't think I'm clever enough for that with the sort of J League stuff. And then we always pick some under 23s and things here as well. So let's do some fun pick under 23. I mean, I'm not doing a lot of lineup building in this. Just want to give everybody the information and get on with things. Kavlina with an estimated 98. So I know who a goalkeeper, maybe that's a huge estimated score. I wonder why it's that high, but don't like to ignore stuff like that. So Shrewd yeah, I don't know if he'll get enough AA for a 98, but now I know why. It's big Rude is. Defender wise, so got some good options here, but a lot of these guys are not playing. I think I really need to beef up my limited under 23s. In all honesty, what's Kim? Marisic didn't play last time. Kim Ji Sung's still injured at the moment. Perkovic been in and out to see us with the the sort of start percentages, etc. Over 70%. It's not so. Yeah, that's a bit more difficult actually. Try and get the news on who's going to start. I'm going to have to actually. Nemchik been out is real killer because I bought him for this type of thing. So I'm going to play Kim Tae-wan because he's done really well, and I'll see if I can get some information on him starting. Midfield wise, I'm going to keep Matt O'Reilly for Celtic stacks, I think, so I'm not really that confident with this team, but I'm going to go for Kuryu Matsuki. I think he was rotated midweek and he's got a nice high expected score, so we'll bash him in here. And then up front, probably just go with Bodo Glimt again because that seems to be the sort of strategy. So go for Hoga and Evgen because they do score a lot of goals, right? And there's games on tonight, so hopefully Evgen brings it home. But we'll be able to see, or I'll be able to see what story that is. Do the rare team as well. You see why I'm not doing all my lineups here. We're 20 minutes in already, and you're probably fed up listening to me. So I'm going to go with the Kavlina in here too. I mean, Rudez is just quite a difficult one to turn down in terms of fixtures. Real standout fixture. Schlotterbeck again. So yeah, I mean, I think I might have to risk Schlotterbeck. I mean, Like he's just a machine. Obviously, there's a rotation risk. I've seen a projection on it, and still pretty high up. Do I use the 13% or do I use the 11? I think I'm going to use the 11 because I want to keep the 13% for the cash comps. That might be a mistake, but I don't know. Don't really do that well in champion cash. Yeah, fuck it. Who cares? Don't do that well in champion cash, so I think I'm going to just use the best one. Um, Midfield projected scores again. I think I might use an O'Reilly in here. I really want him in the Celtic teams, I suppose, as well, but Phil Foden at home, so yeah, I could go with Foden instead. Still a really brilliant, strong options, obviously. Doku was pretty good the last game. Sherky always doing quite well. Musiala's been in and out. I don't know if he'll definitely play. Minty probably his last game for home at Feyenoord. I think it's on loan. So yeah, nothing really standing out. I mean, it's a bit more difficult. I guess Feyenoord against Excelsior, that's a derby, isn't it? So they'll probably want to go quite strong. Midfield wise, defence. Try to see what the real sort of standout scores are. I suppose I could use an O'Reilly in here, but I just really like O'Reilly at the moment in Celtic stacks. So Almada 61, always really reliable player. Doku's too in and out. That's the problem with Doku. I suppose Kulusevski quite tempting actually. He was good when he came on. Sheffield United. We'll go for the Sheffield United factor, right? We'll go for that, and we'll go for Phil Foden captain. Because I think he will start home for Manchester City. So there we go. I've picked a couple of lineups. Picked J League in under 23. I'm not going any further than that. My head's buzzing today after all the messages, after winning the league, all the excitement. One Celts are here with Quinny later on as well, and we're going to end there. So it's going to be a fun reward opening on Friday as well. If you have any comments on Euros or any thoughts or whatever on what Sorare are doing, then give me a shout. But anyways, we will end in customary fashion, and that is good luck and go fuck.